There is going to be a wolf mount in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yes, really. And we have way more info thanks to the additions that were revealed. The male and female voice actors are known. We got info about our Raven friends and way more. And these new details really got me even more excited about the game. So I want to share them with you. A like on the video would be super appreciated. And let's go. I want to start with the announcement of my May giveaway for a 2020 game of your choice on your platform of choice, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I've reached out to the winner of my April giveaway via the email and will announce it when I hear back. So then I immediately want to follow it up with a May one. So all you need to do is follow the link in the pinned comment for a chance to win. And be sure you are a subscriber of the channel before you enter. And good luck. And while we still don't know the actual release date for the game apart from holiday 2020, I will have a separate video about my predictions up very soon, so keep it locked for that. No, but we do know what the different editions look like, and I immediately want to jump to the Ultimate Pack because that actually tells us a lot about the game and the post-launch. Here we namely see the Berserker Gear Pack, confirming that yes indeed, the item packs that we saw in both Origins and Odyssey will be back, but that the content will be slightly different. And here we go from the left to the right, we first see an axe. And maybe you remember the Odyssey Ultimate Pack that actually came with 2 weapons, but it was a blue and a purple weapon. And they were only really good at the start of the game, but that should be different in Valhalla because here every item is unique and can be carried to the end of the game. So, on paper, you could of course upgrade that blue and purple weapon to the max level as well in Odyssey, but then it would still not be that good. But here we should also be able to customize our gear, so maybe make this item that we now see in this Berserker Gear Pack also really powerful on the max level. And you can customize these items with the runes, and this is also included in the Ultimate Pack. And this seems to be like an upgraded version of the engraving system that we also saw in Odyssey, where you could put like 1 perk on any item. Seems like they expanded on it in Valhalla, although we also don't have a lot of details yet. The gear pack also includes a skin for our Raven. So in Origins we actually had like a white skin for Sanu that you could unlock after completing all the Discovery Tour activities, but that was really it. Now there should be like a bigger focus on customizing our bird friend as well. And what excites me is that they will introduce a bunch of new abilities for the Raven. And this comes from Eurogamer, who had an interview with Julien, the producer at Ubisoft Montreal. We used it, so the Raven, as a reason to re-explore the way players can explore the world, so it is less reliant on UI. If you notice a distraction somewhere, it's probably because there is some content there. So likely meaning that an actual fire or maybe a sound will then catch your eye instead of a marker on the map. And I really hope that we get to see the Raven in action during the gameplay reveal on May 7th during that Xbox event. So we get an idea of how they really improved it. This already sounds awesome, but I also want to see it in action. We at least now know that we can customize it even more than before, and we will likely see more skins in the game and post-launch as well. We also see a special shield that I actually like a lot. Might be great for my dual shield build that I totally want to make around launch. You are likely aware, right, that thanks to the new dual wield system, you can use any combination of weapons, including 2 shields. And then we see our good boy, the wolf mount, that we actually get a better look at in the image of the game's limited edition. It's a heady wolf mount, and I love that they're already introducing different mounts at the start of the game, because I'm sure there will be horses in the game. Would be weird because they were the primary means of transportation in this era, especially for the Saxons. In Origins we had horses and camels at the start, and then later the Chocomo, inspired by the Chocobo from Final Fantasy. It was just a camel, but it looks kind of frightening. In Odyssey we started with a lot of horses, we also had the Pegasus with the wings, and then slowly 3 months after launch we got a cool bull mount, and they also toyed around with some other variants later on. So it's cool to see that at the launch of the game we have more choices than just horses, although the question of course is, will there also be a wool variant available by just playing the game? Or is it exclusive to the Ultimate Edition? I will try and ask this of course when I can. And then the other exciting part of this pack are the 2 armor sets that already give us a good idea of what type of armor sets we can expect. And we of course see headgear as well. Something we don't see in other promotional material. I told you in my previous video that we will be able to manually remove the hood and wear it, like we saw in Origins and Odyssey as well. And what is interesting is that both the male and female Eivor wear different headgear and also slightly different versions of this armor. While the fur, the waist and the boots seem pretty similar. So does this mean that the armor sets will be different for both characters, or are they just 2 different outfits, and can we also wear the one that we see for the male Eivor as the female Eivor? Will totally be something I want to ask as well, because while I like the hood of course, I think the bear hat for the male looks pretty awesome too. And if there are indeed different versions of each armor for each gender, then that will of course help you make your decision on who you're going to play. But the voice actors will of course also be very important. And if you watched my Assassin's Creed Viking rumor videos, then you might know that I've been keeping an eye on Magnus Brune, as he seemed to be teasing a big project in Montreal, after which he started following some AZ developers. Well, turns out that he's actually the voice of the male Eivor. And if you watched the Lost Kingdom TV show, then you might know him as Canute. So someone with a ton of Viking experience is part of this project. And Cecilie, born in Copenhagen and Denmark, will be doing the female voice, and I hope I pronounce her name right. I did not know about her before this, but you see her filmography right here. Bade Hotelet is something she worked on, 8 episodes of Straightforward. And on Instagram she announced that she was part of the game with the image of the collector's edition statue. That is weirdly enough our best look at this female Eivor so far. Like, the other picture we got is on this ship, but you really have to zoom in to actually see her. So really weird that for male Eivor we got every angle possible, and the female Eivor is not getting a lot of love. Could be that the gameplay is all about the female version of Eivor though, as we saw with Cassandra and the Odyssey reveal as well. But we will have to wait and see. We do of course know that you can also customize the hair of the character and add face paint as well as tattoos. And there's actually also a statue of male Eivor in the Ubisoft store that gives you a Raider tattoo set for in the game. So that already teases what might be possible, but this will not be exclusive to additions or statues. Now in our settlement we should also have a tattoo parlor that we can open and upgrade alongside barracks and blacksmiths, for example. And as we discussed in my previous video, the settlement is super crucial to the game. Missions will namely start here and also end here. Like, we will go on a raid and then come back with some resources, or maybe even new characters that can also join our raid party. And sometimes it's surprises that I can't get into, Ashraf said to Game Informer. But I love how Julia goes more in depth on this system in an article on Eurogamer. We want players to see the consequences of their actions. And then he continues, you will see the effects of alliances, such as weddings, to forge relationships between clans, and the consequences of harsh choices you have to face. Eivor has to sometimes choose between his personal goals and what is best for the community, and we should see the impact of that in the settlement. And forging alliances sounds awesome too. Like, there should be many Viking clans in the game, so maybe we can choose to build a relationship with them or the opposite. The settlement is also where you will see some of the game's romances play out, if you choose to indulge in those. So cool, confirmation that the romances from Odyssey will be back, hopefully a little more fleshed out. And I would not be surprised if we could romance characters from our raid party, that we can, by the way, also customize and build as well, so likely give different equipment. They are actually called Jumps Vikings, and I think we see some of them here in this key art. Looking pretty cool and diverse. We got some awesome looking women as well. I really can't wait to learn more about them. They all seem to be Viking. I'm curious if there will also be like Saxon warriors or like bandits that we can recruit. And this image is, by the way, also the box art. Only the box art is cropped to make sense for the box, of course. And we only have the current gen boxes so far, because Sony and Microsoft, of course, did not share how the next gen boxes will look yet. And let's go back to the settlement, because we actually learned that you can do dice and drinking games there, or engage in traditional Norse competitions, like fighting, or better known as verbally devastating rivals through the art of the Viking rap battle. Okay, I can't wait to see that. I don't think we should expect like legit rap battles, but likely drunken Vikings calling each other names or something like that. So it seems like we can expect some mini games in the settlement, and we can also add special cosmetic items like we see in the Berserker pack, like totems, statues, a tree, and I would not be surprised if there were like set locations where you can put these items. So yes, I totally think that post-launch we will see more of these settlement packs. We also see naval content again, like a ship design in this Berserker pack. So yeah, they're adding another pack on top of the naval and gear pack that we had in Odyssey, while Origins of course only had the traditional item packs. I'm curious what the Sargon equivalent in this game will be, so we can of course get the items without paying. But yeah, I'm sure that there will be a ton of like cosmetic items and stuff like that unlockable in the game already. And I got way more Assassin's Creed Valhalla info that I want to share in future videos. I kinda want to space them out and focus on different parts of the game. So expect videos that go more in depth on the world, the story, the progression system, that should be pretty interesting. And just like a big news roundup of all the details that are out there every day here on the channel. So totally subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date on everything Assassin's Creed Valhalla. A like on the video would be super appreciated, and totally check out my previous video with exclusive gameplay details from my interview with Ashraf Ismail if you haven't already, talking about social stealth as well. You can watch it by clicking on the screen, and don't forget that giveaway in the pinned comment. For now though, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.